There are many prophecies I want to talk about today, beginning with Isaiah 17. The Lord has told me that Isaiah 17, and I want to tell you the dream and explain to you exactly what the Lord has said in these dreams. I want to mention a few prophecies today. I mentioned the last time about Hillary Clinton signing a confession, and I wrote at the bottom, I thought, well, I never thought about it before, but this confession could have been a plea agreement. And now that I think of it, it kind of makes sense that the Democrats are going to throw Hillary to the Republicans for their pound of flesh, so to speak, and that cot at the end of that dream that she went and laid on could have been a jail cot. I've seen those before. But I want to mention these other, I've got several here I want to talk about. War coming in America. If you will follow the prophecy of William Branham, the Lord has pretty much said that there is a devastating war coming in America. Don't want to talk about that one today right yet. The three boats. I want to talk a little bit about that later. There's a three boats prophecy the Lord told me about. These are major prophecies that I'm talking about here. The three boats, there was two boats clashed and went down in the middle of what looked like a hurricane in the ocean, and then a bigger boat came through and made it through because of the strength of the boat. But that's not really what I want to talk about today. The mystery Babylon, the last days that's coming. You'll find it in Revelation 17 verse 5. It talks about and on her forehead was a name written, Mystery Babylon, the great, the mother of harlots and abomination of the earth. The Lord has told me that is America. That Mystery Babylon is America. If America would turn her heart, the reason it's called a mystery is because if it doesn't have to happen. This does not have to happen. It's a mystery. Given a choice. God has given us a choice, and in that it's a mystery. It doesn't have to happen. But the two I want to talk about today is Ezekiel 39:4 and Isaiah 17. I want to start with Isaiah 17. I dreamed a dream, and in this dream I was watching, I was asleep in the bed actually in the dream, and I heard a voice on the TV in the living room here in this house where I live, and it said, Israel has attacked Syria. I heard that. I jumped out of bed and I ran through the house, and I looked, and I said, what did it say? What did it say? And it said again, Israel has attacked Syria. So the Lord has assured us twice that Isaiah 17 is going to happen when Israel attacks Syria. Excuse me. Israel never does anything unprovoked, so this is going to be provoked, and even what they're not doing now. Now this dream happened 4 years ago, a little over 4 years ago now, when the Lord first spoke to me about it, and there was nothing going on in particular between those two at the time. They were trying to get a peace agreement going between the two, and nothing was really going on. So the next day when I woke up, I went to look to see what was going on, because I know nothing about Syria at the time. I have looked intently since that 4 years, so I know a little bit about Syria now. And so in the dream, however, I went and I looked at the TV, and when it said Israel has attacked Syria, now this was not a small attack, because the whole screen was just filled with rolling, explosion, and like a firebomb. I mean, it was like real intense. I mean, there was nothing on that screen that was not covered with fire and rolling explosion. So the Lord was sure that to say that Isaiah 17 excuse me, is going to happen, and Damascus is going to be flattened, and nothing, absolutely nothing is going to be left of that city. And then we'll know for sure that this Isaiah 17 prophecy has come to pass. Now, if you read Isaiah 17, there's a couple of stipulations there that's got to take place, or it's not. It's not Isaiah 17. Number one, Damascus has to be totally wiped out. Nothing left of the city. If there's one building standing, it's not Isaiah 17. Israel will be extremely weakened at the end of this war. They will be in a very, if you go read it, it's very plain what it's talking about. Israel will be drained. It will not be just with Syria. This war will be between Syria and Lebanon. It will be with maybe Jordan and Egypt or Turkey, but there will be 4 countries that come out against Israel at that time. The east side of Jerusalem will be taken at that time, and Israel will have to take it right back. The Philistines, the remainder of the Philistines, will be totally wiped out. The West Bank will no longer be there. Gaza will be totally annihilated in this Isaiah 17 war. This thing coming, they'll be all wiped out. Now I'm putting together. Now God hasn't told me in a lot of detail exactly how this is going to happen. Okay, so my points could vary just a little, but I guarantee you that everything I said will eventually come to pass because of this Isaiah 17 war. Okay. And if you read the last 5 verses of Isaiah 17, they are Ezekiel 38. And I'm going to get into the Ezekiel 39:4 prophecy now, okay? And the Lord has given me a dream about this. In the dream, when I say the Lord has given me a dream, that means He has spoken to me, His prophet, about this last days and about how He is coming. Now I know there's a lot of other people. I've told 10 pastors about this, and they all come up with different story than what the Lord has told me. But the thing about it is that all their stories don't match none of the other stories of the other pastors. You know, so nobody has a real idea about how this is coming according to man's opinion. But God knows how it's coming because He's bringing it. And it says over there in Amos 3:7, I think it is, that God will do nothing unless He speaks to His prophets first. So the people you should listen to is the ones that God's telling it to. And the Lord has told me this. In this dream, He said, the Lord showed me like a wavering wind tunnel, like that thing you see on the TV where they talk about the weather. It's the cold front, and it's the way the weather is moved. But and this, it was like a stream, like the jet stream. That's what I'm thinking about. And the Lord showed me the dream opened up with a bunch of black birds, and they were huge, and the sky was filled with black birds. And in this dream, the Lord showed me that these black birds were gathering together, getting ready for this feast it talks about in Ezekiel. And all of a sudden, these birds, they all came together like this. And I watched them as they came in that stream, and they started moving faster and faster and faster. They moved so fast I couldn't even see the birds within in the stream. And one of the birds fell out, and it fell on the ground like this. And it turned into this huge rat. Looked like a great big huge swamp. That thing was bigger than a possum. And it began to sniff around like this. It was going sniffing, looking for that path. And when it found that path, it followed that path, just straight, as fast as it could run down that path. And in that stream, it was going like this and rolling, coming down. And the stream came down and it touched me on the thigh like that. And it moved me. It touched me, and when it touched my thigh, it touched so hard that it actually moved me over. And every aspect of that dream meant something. When the Lord touched me with that stream on my thigh, it meant God has covenanted with me. If you remember Abraham and Isaac, how that they touched one another. He would touch his son on his thigh, and he would covenant with him that this belongs to him. And in that, the Lord has said this to me. He said, I have covenanted with you that Ezekiel 39:4 will happen in your lifetime. This will be your This will be your legacy, that this will happen in your lifetime. And when this thing happens and takes place, this is definitely a sign to all of Israel and to all of America and to every nation in the world that the last days of a surety are here. We can't pass this up. We can't dismiss it. We can't just ignore that it's there, because Ezekiel 38:23 says God is doing this, that He can show Himself into the eyes of all the world. Now, the world has known God in their heart, some of it, and the world has known God in their imagination and in their minds, but they have never, very few times in all of history, have they ever known God in their eyes. And now they are going to know God in their eyes, because God is telling His people, He is telling His prophets, He is telling this prophet that He is bringing this thing. God is getting ready to stand up and put His hand on this world and say, this world is mine, and it's about time they know it. Amen. And I'll come to you later. I'll talk about the 3 boats prophecy. I'll talk about the jet. The Lord has said that He's going to give me a jet, and He's covenanted with me that this jet would be mine. And I'm going a little bit long today, but God bless, and we'll see you about this time tomorrow.